Now, what was amazing about QANX was this Cipher harmonic that I had mapped out. If you remember, the pivot I originally had was there, but the target was correct. And I actually posted that in my previous on X as it was happening. So if anyone was paying attention to my X profile, let me have a look. I'll go back to the post and I'll show you. So August 11th, quick update on QANX from here, video link below. And basically last week I was talking about a drop into this area. I was actually thinking it'll come later, but it doesn't really matter. It came in on time on the 618, and it came exactly to where I imagined, and that was in my previous week's video. And look at the reaction. I said immediately it was a really good reaction. And if you go to this, I've linked it directly to the timestamp, so you don't have to fast forward. And I go over briefly what I was looking at here and the reaction that I was looking at. Oh, my computer's frozen a little bit. The reaction that I was looking at. So you can go and have a look at that, and you can see what I've been doing on QANX. Had a really nice reaction. And generally with these Cipher harmonics, you're looking at a retrace to the 50% mark. It actually went to the golden pocket. You see that? Yeah. It actually went all the way to the golden pocket for a rejection off the golden pocket. But you can see now that we've actually lost the 50% mark, which is the target, the original target. From a reaction here, your target is the 50%. What does that mean? Does that mean this is going down, or is this going up? Well, it means that the harmonic has played out correctly, in that you had a reaction and you went up to the 50% mark of the harmonic, which is about, in this circumstance, is a 28% increase in value. Yeah, so that played out absolutely correctly. Now with these harmonics, you don't need to have follow through. It could stay here and go up, sure it could, or it could kind of go right back down. Yeah, there's no one can predict what's going to happen next based on this harmonic. Even though it's a bullish harmonic, it's already played out correctly because the reaction led to the target being hit. Okay, that's just a keen note to point out, just in case people think it's a bullish harmonic. This is going up, it's already done it. Okay, so I think I can get rid of that now because it's irrelevant. And when I look at the rest of QANX, let me go to the higher time frame. So last week was an interesting week because we had this really bearish weekly candle, but actually it's quite bullish, just simply because it closes within the previous candle low, and you have this really long buying tail, and also it's decreasing volume on these red candles. So it's actually quite a bullish candle, and we saw the reaction as a result of that bullish candle. You see this week, just from the close of that bullish candle, the price expanded up 21%. It's back down to 8%. And so it's quite important when you identify these candles, you know, that you can actually allow these candles to set your bias if you catch it on time. And so that's why I always look at weekly candles end of the week. Again, with this 3-day candle, look at that. That's actually a bullish, this is a bullish engulfing candle with really good volume. This one, it engulfs this red candle completely, and it's got increasing volume. So it's a really nice bullish candle that's played out after we had this sell-off. The sell-off failed to go lower than the range low, and so actually it was a really nice candle to buy. So what does that mean? Is this the first impulse? Are we impulsing? It's possible. As always, I say it's possible because until we get more information, it's hard to know if this is the impulse, if the impulse has begun, if this is the next move. Let me pull up my... Oh, I just realized that my charts, my stuff is a little bit messy here. So I have a lot of stuff here, so I don't actually know which one I'm... I don't know which one I'm looking at. Oh, amazing. I was looking at that idea. I wonder if we do go and get an inverse head and shoulders there. Let's see. So was that the first wave correction, and then this is the second wave, and we've just had wave one? That's the wave one. Is that the wave one? Yeah, it's possible. This is definitely possibly an impulsive wave. You see, it's quite impulsive buying. We need continuation now to confirm the idea of this buying. I would argue that all in all, QANX is still looking quite strong. And I would also argue that short of seeing heavy injection of volume, we're still going to be range bound. But if you look at this green volume on these candles, they're pretty nice. We're getting some nice green candle buys with volume, aren't we? You see that? So that's kind of what you want to see. Buying, market buying consistently, and that just keeps us in higher prices before we can actually get a nice breakout. And we will get eventually what will happen is we'll probably the price will end up probably squeezing until there is some kind of breakout. And it'll be pretty nice to break out on QANX because it's still quite a liquid. And so once you get a breakout, we should get quite impulsive moves to the upside. So I don't think anything's changed apart from that Cipher harmonic playing out, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty standard. We have this trend line which we have to break to move to the upside. Yeah, we haven't even hit it again. We have to hit it for another time. So that will probably offer us a little bit of resistance when we go up to hit it again. And ideally what you want is you want consolidation underneath resistance to break out into the higher prices. Ideally, that's what you want. Yeah. And the break has to be with volume. And so right now we're just kind of ranging still. You can see that we're still range bound. Well, that's quite interesting as well, that parallel channel that I had. I never really paid attention to it, but you look, it's quite interesting how we're hitting the underside of that and we're struggling to get back above it. I do wonder if there's something going on here where we've kind of lost this channel. We have to break back into the channel. I think nothing's changed. Nothing's changed really. It's just sideways motion, huh? It's not bearish. It's just accumulation. We're getting some nice market buys and the dips are being bought up, as you can see, with volume. And I think every dip right now is an opportunity to buy at discount. The swings are quite heavy, you know, like if you go down all the way down, it's like in a 20% price drop. And so naturally, a lot of people are looking for discounted accumulation. It's obvious. It's obvious. We're still in this local range. We're underneath the local point of control. So that's technically that's slightly bearish in this local range. But actually, look, the real point of control of this range is lower than this pivot. It is, I mean, again, it's possible to go down again to take that pivot, just to hit the point of control here to go back up. Everything's possible. And usually, you know, impulsive moves start from the lows, from pivot lows or significant lows. That could be it. That could be the pivot. We could consolidate here. I think, like, when you lose the range and you come back into the range, and you have the range here, that's the range. Let's just say that was the range there. You kind of lost the range and you just came right back into the range. I think that's quite bullish, huh? Just to kind of find a really strong reaction from the bottom of the range, like a slight deviation, and you're back in the range. Yeah, so the price find it difficult to leave this range, and there was quite a nice impulsive buy up, and so, you know, you could get the same response. And so we're clearly not showing weakness here. This is not weakness. This is just accumulation, effectively, and consolidation. I think a lot of tokens collapse when Bitcoin hits all-time highs and rejects. And I see a QANX is not collapsing. It's just doing what it does, which is kind of continue the accumulation until we get something significant on the rest of crypto and Bitcoin, which is really what we need. We need something significant to allow for the transfer rotation of capital to altcoins. We haven't really had that moment yet. So anyway, this is quite interesting. We'll follow this. I don't really have any more insights, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at the different candles and charts. I'd like more volume, especially since we want to break out. I'd like to see more volume. You know, the problem with this is technically that could also be market structure change. It could be. You have like a higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's the bearish. It went to a higher high straight away. So you're still in bearish market structure unless you can take out that high. So at the moment, this 12-hour time frame market structure is bearish. Lower highs, lower lows. And so unless QANX can go up and take that high to change it to bullish, there is always a chance that we're just going to fall back to test that wick again. All right. That's kind of where we're at now. It's kind of range bound, but we're here trying to figure out what to do next. All right. Let me see if there's any updates or news on the Quan platform X account. Anything new? It's the 15th of August. What is this? Quan platform enters the Latin American market through Sign Quantum and ITTI. Shortly after the announcement of Quan platform's latest use case, Sign Quantum, the world's first quantum resistance e-signature add-on, which utilizes the quantum resistance Quan blockchain platform. Quan platform's technology will enter the Latin American market through Sign Quantum and ITTI. So yeah, there is a use case here, isn't it? And you've got this Sign Quantum that's using the Quan platform blockchain to create quantum resistance e-signatures. Okay, and so there's quite a strong use case. They decided to just go straight with Quan platform and not bother with other blockchains. That's the latest news that has been announced here on the 12th of August. What did the price do on the 12th of August? Let's have a look. It went up a little bit, not much movement. It was the day before that you got the movement. Yeah. All right. So I guess there's not much insight except that we're still kind of here. And then we have to see where we go, right? Any thoughts, any comments, any feedback, feel free to message me or like or comment. If you got any more info or news that I can announce, just share it, and I'm happy to do that. All right, so that's Quan platform.